Hey you, what up? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back, I'm Maryam. In today's video, I'm going to be testing out a new powder from MERCIER. It is their Ultra Blur Translucent Loose Setting Powder, and I am going to test this out, conduct a wear test. I'm going to show you close-ups, I'm going to show you some pictures of what this looks like with flash, and I'm also going to be comparing it to the original MERCIER Loose Setting Powder, this one. And right now, I am wearing both of them on the face, one on each side. I'm not going to tell you which one yet, so please watch this video in its entirety. Be sure to watch this video until the end for the final wear test and verdict. I'm trying to be very mysterious right now and not give away anything, but this is a video that you must watch until the end. Trust me. All right, now that I've said my piece, I'm just going to remind you to remember to subscribe if you aren't already. Hit that notification bell. Why? So that you can be notified of my videos, because I do post every Wednesdays and Sundays. Now that I've said all that, now that I've said my piece, let's get into this video. Let's get into this review. Let's see if this MERCIER Ultra Blurring Loose Powder is actually blurring on my textured, oily AF skin. Let's do it. Okay, so here we have the new translucent loose setting powder in Ultra Blur from MERCIER. This is my first time opening this up, first time taking a look at it. Basically, it looks very similar to the original packaging, though the original powder and packaging has a brown top. I don't actually have the original size of the packaging. I just have this jumbo one, but basically it's like a brown top that looks like this without the ball. I think this was like for a special anniversary or something that they sent it to me. But anyway, let's go over all of the facts. So this new Ultra Blur powder is actually talc free. So for those of you who are concerned about that, you need not be concerned about that anymore. This has no talc. Comes in 3 shades: translucent, which is the one that I have, honey, and also medium deep. This is $44 as opposed to the original, this size, which is $40. This also contains hyaluronic acid, which means that it's good for all skin types, not just for normal, but also for dry and for oily AF, because for some reason hyaluronic is one of those magic ingredients that seems to balance the skin, whether you're dry or oily. It's just magic, it works. Also, this is infused with amino acids and silica powders, which give a soft focus effect to fine lines, pores, and imperfections. When I read that, I immediately thought I am the perfect person to test this out, because I do have somewhat textured skin. I have some acne scars, I have some spots, I have enlarged pores. Not so much fine lines, but the texture is definitely a concern of mine. So if anyone is going to be testing out this Ultra Blur powder, it should be me. Matte finish, long wearing, fragrance free. The original is also matte finish. It's a 16-hour wear. This one is infused with vitamin C and E, offers no flashback. So of course I'm gonna do a test. I'm gonna apply this new Ultra Blur to this side of the face after I apply my foundation, and then the original to the other side of the face. I'm gonna show you close-ups. I'm gonna show you everything. But now that we have the facts down, let's actually do the makeup. Let's do the face. I'm gonna treat this as like a typical routine, as my normal day. I'm gonna apply my DANESSA MYRICKS Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder as a primer. You may notice that my skin is a little bit on the shiny side today, and that's because I just got a facial, and so although I wash my face, my skin is definitely glowing and it is thriving. I had some crazy extractions today, even though I literally had a facial a week ago with some extractions, but my skin is so oily that it gets congested within days. So yeah, if you see any sort of inflammation or irritation, that's because I had massive extractions. But this product just seems to take care of all of that shine, blurs my skin surface instantly. Oh my god, this feels so smooth right now, like so smooth to the touch. They got rid of all of my blackheads and whiteheads. Okay, primer is on. Next, I'm gonna apply my foundation. I'm gonna go for my DIOR Face and Body shade 4WO. I'm gonna shake it up at first. If you're watching my channel for the first time and you're thinking, oh man, this girl's applying a foundation that is way too dark for her skin, fear not. I am actually trying to match the rest of my body, because in the summertime, my skin is very tan in the body, but I do not tan my face. I'm trying to make it look like I also tan my face, which is why I go a couple shades deeper. Okay, so this is just one sheer little layer. For my under eye, I'm gonna go for my Fenty Bright Fix, just like a little bit. I don't think I really need a lot. So we'll see how smoothing and blurring this new powder is. I know MERCIER is like cult favorite powder. Everybody loves it. I gotta say, I used to love it, but I have found powders that work better for me. Personally, I think the One Size translucent setting powder is a lot smoother than the original Laura Mercier. I also have been loving, like loving so much the new Dominique Cosmetics Wide Awake powder. Another very, very smoothing powder. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Charlotte T Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. That one I use all over the face because that is a pressed powder, so it is a little bit different. But there is a very light shade, shade 1, that I like to use under my eye to brighten and to lift, and that powder is fine enough that you can actually use it under the eye. So now let me correct some of my imperfections here. I'm gonna go for the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in Ginger. Just gonna take a little pencil brush, conceal this animal over here. I'm gonna dab that softly, also over here. All right, so now onto the powder. I'm gonna test it out in several different ways. And again, like I mentioned, this one, the Ultra Blur, I'm gonna use on this side of the face, and then the original, I'm gonna use on this side of the face. I'm gonna keep reminding you just so that you don't forget, just so that I don't forget, so that we're on the same page, you know? All right, opening this up for the first time. Here comes that amazing sound. I just had to do that. Once again, small criticism. I would love a scroll wheel so that powder doesn't get all over the place. I'm actually gonna release some onto this cap and then also onto the big cap of this one. I'm gonna look at these powders side by side. I'm gonna see if I notice any immediate difference in just like the color or the texture. Off the bat, no color difference. I'll show you a close-up, but let's actually feel this with our fingers. Ultra Blur here, original here. Interesting. So the Ultra Blur powder, I would say, dissipates a little bit faster. It almost feels thinner than this one, being the original, which actually feels a little creamier, a little thicker. So the Ultra Blur is thinner. The original feels thicker to me. There is a feel difference with just my fingers. So what I'm gonna do first is actually set the under eye. I'm gonna set the under eye with a brush. I'm gonna use 2 different brushes just to keep things fair. Even gonna go for similar brushes. Ultra Blur first, picking some up, dusting some off, setting the under eye. Okay, I am noticing something immediately. This Ultra Blur powder actually has some very tiny but noticeable light reflecting properties. It's not a flat matte per se. I'm gonna go ahead and load a little bit more on my brush and set that. Gonna set that aside. Next, I'm gonna grab the original and I'm gonna set the other under eye. This one is a flat matte. I'm gonna show you a close-up, and I'm also gonna show you my porous zones without any powder on, just so you could see. But first, the eyes. Well, although you can't tell that the Ultra Blur has a little bit of a light reflect, what you can tell is that it's doing a better job of brightening under the eyes than the original. Over here, you could still see the darkness under the eye, whereas on this eye, I guess the light reflecting properties are causing an illusion of some sort, and the under eye thus is looking a little bit brighter. I'm not really noticing that so much in my monitor or in my mirror, but I did notice that in my phone camera that I was filming with my front camera while looking at myself. I did notice that this eye just visibly looked brighter. Next, let me show you the rest of my skin without any powder on. All right, here we go. Here's this side of the face. Here's this side of the face. My imperfections. Here's the forehead. And now let's powder it. So now for powder, I'm gonna use the same brush, just 2 different sides of the brush. This is a Wayne Goss brush. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Ultra Blur on this side of the face first, also on half of my forehead. I'm just gonna sweep it and then stamp it and then kind of just dust it across half of my forehead. I don't know, you guys. I feel like this side of the face is looking illuminated because of the light reflecting properties. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm gonna flip my brush around. I'm gonna go for the other half of the face with the original powder. First the forehead and then the cheeks. And now I'm gonna show you a close-up. Okay, this side of the face. Forehead looks a lot more matte here than it does here. And then here's the side of the face. I don't know. Is it me, or does this side look more blurred than this side? This almost doesn't look like I have any powder on at all. In fact, is it me, or does it look worse than before? I'm just confused. We are gonna test it out once more with another method. I'm gonna take my Dominique Cosmetics Beauty Sponge. I'm gonna dip it into the Ultra Blur. Actually gonna release a little bit more product. I'm gonna try baking it, you guys. I mean, let's go for it. We're here. We might as well just test out all the different ways to apply this powder. And while we're at it, I guess, let me go ahead and bake the other side of the face with the other side of the sponge with the other original translucent loose setting powder. Yeah, this powder for sure feels a lot more powdery and just like a lot more familiar. Maybe because I've used it a lot more than this new Ultra Blur one, but this finish I am well familiar with. This is the face. All right, I'm gonna give it a few seconds to rest on my face and then I'm going to gently dust it off. Oh no. Oh no, this is not an ideal situation for me, you guys. I honestly think it's a little bit too clingy of a powder. It actually doesn't do anything for my imperfections in terms of hiding them. In fact, I think this powder enhances my imperfections. The fact that it has some light reflecting properties is definitely making this side or this section of my skin look inflamed. It makes it look magnified because obviously all the little grooves are now highlighted and so you can kind of see them a lot more clearly. This animal that I had over here on my face looks like a mountain now. And I'm looking at myself very close, but I will show you what this looks like up close. And let me tell you, I am not happy with the result. This is not what I was expecting from a powder that is marketed as an ultra blurring powder. This is not blurring anything, at least not on my skin. I'm gonna remove the other side. And I'm gonna show you a close-up, but I warn you, it's not gonna be pretty. I mean, what the hell is this? This looks so bad. This looks really bad compared to this side, which looks pretty good. This side of the forehead. And then you can immediately see the shift from matte to kind of shiny and not in a flattering way. Guys, this is not smoothing at all. This is not blurring anything. I'm shocked. Okay, granted, there's one thing I like about this new ultra blurring powder. I like the way that it looks in my under eye. Take a look. This under eye versus this under eye definitely looks brighter, more lifted, smoother. And I think it's because the light reflecting properties actually work for the under eye and they work for color correcting as opposed to this one, which does not add any color at all. You know what? For you and for the sake of this video, I am going to do a wear test. I am going to try to put a smile on. I'm going to try to make it work with this face and all, with this texture. But right now, at this moment, this is not looking like a good product review to me. This is looking very, very, very shaky. I'm honestly shocked. But you know what, Team Truth? You are here for the truth. I am here to deliver it. You know what? Let's cue in that good old time warping music and let's see what this mess looks like at the end of the day. Almost forgot the flashback test. I'm going to turn on my flash. Flash is on. I am going to try to take a picture of myself. Sweetie pie, I'm going to pop these up at the end of the day with the wear test. Wait for it. Okay, hi guys, I am back in the filming room. It was a very, very long day for me. It is 11 p.m. right now, and this is my face at the end of the day. Surprisingly, I will say that my face doesn't look so terrible. Overall, it actually looks pretty good, even though I look really tired myself. But it's not really about me, it's about the skin. So let me go ahead and zoom on real close. This is the side of the face with the original Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. This is what it looks like. This is the forehead. It overall looks very matte and just normal. And now this side of the face, unfortunately, definitely looks a lot less smooth. So to me, this is a clear indicator that the new translucent ultra blur powder by Laura Mercier is not blurring at all. In fact, I think it is less blurring than the original. One thing I will mention is that my face does look better at the end of the day than it did when I freshly applied these products on, just because I think it had a chance to marinate, to like melt with my oils and become one with my skin. So it does look better at the end of the day, but still, looking at my skin up close, this is not something that I would say has a smoothing effect on my skin. In fact, I do think that my pores, my breakouts, my bumps are magnified. Do I think that this ultra blur powder from Laura Mercier is a hit. Do I think it's a win? Sadly, not for me. Sadly, this is not something that I am going to reach for. I have far better performing smoothing powders that I like to use, such as the One Size, such as the Dominique Cosmetics. I also like a powder from Dermablend, one of my favorites. And there's a plethora of others that I use that I will definitely use before I use this again. That's just how I see it. That's just how it has worked for me. That is the truth on my end. And before I go, let me actually add one more thing. Let me pop up those photos that I took earlier to determine whether this product has flashback or not. Here is this side of the face, not wearing this. Here is this side of the face, wearing this product. Is it me? Or are we seeing a bit of flashback under the eye? Sadly, I hate to say it, but this was a fail. This was fail for me in the sense that not only did it not smooth my imperfections, it did not blur them whatsoever, but also, I think it's actually an inferior product to the original powder. For someone like myself who is very oily, who has textured skin, I would much rather use the original, which is more matte, which is more smoothing, more blurring, and just looks better on camera. So that's all I have to say about that. I hope you guys are here for my honest reviews. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing. I am very tired, so I'm gonna zoom on out. I'm gonna invite you to check out more of my videos over here, and I will see you in my next one for another very honest review. Peace out, and I'm out.